Uh, Good evening, viewers and listeners of Concerned Citizens Media. Thank you again for coming back. I have several news updates to share with you for today, December 20, 2023. Uh, I will start with advertisement. This advertisement is about Oromo community Oromo Diaspora Community in Washington, D.C. Planned a rally for tomorrow, December 21st, starting 9 or 9:30 local time to protest what is going on in Oromia, to uh, call for the end of continued uh, killings and other atrocities in Oromia and under Abiy Ahmed leadership. So if you have a means and a time to be there, it's good to be the voice for your people, to speak against atrocities, killings, and these anti-constitutional activities in Oromia, especially. So be there. They want to be at the U.S. State Department and also in front of the White House. So that is the announcement I have, and be the voice if you can. The other group, former pro Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed group, if you remember, Hands of Ethiopia group. Now they are against him, and they had their own rallies yesterday in different cities calling for an end for Amara killing. That's what they say. And they have demonstrated in Colorado, Chicago, California, New York, and the different places. So they are active they are active now against Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his operation in Amara region. So they are in a different group now. When the Oromos were crying for help, they were silent and no, they were actively supporting Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to continue his operation against Oromos. They support his policy. Now, because he went to Amara region and continued his operation against Fano, now they are against him. They are, expressing their concern about uh, rapes, killings, and other atrocities in Amara region. So, that's the reality. That's the reality of Ethiopia. We have no way to come together, express. We don't have common ground. That's why Abiy is also taking advantage by dividing and conquer. And they are also planning to have more rallies in different cities around the world. This group, former pro-Abiy, but now anti-Abiy groups. Let's continue with the other one. The other new is the Ethiopian Election Board has sworn in a new CEO, like replacing Burtukan Mideksa, former chairperson of Ethiopian Election Board. So this is a lady named Melawik Meletawik Hailu. Meletawik Hailu. She is sworn in as a new chairman of Ethiopia Election Board. So she promised to, to abide by the constitution, and we'll see if she can do. Burtukan Mideksa, even though she sworn in to to keep the oath of the Constitution. She helped Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to do whatever he want to do, postponing the election, and by eliminating opponents, especially in Oromia, canceling political leaders. She played a major role, uh, to promote his dictatorial style, and she helped him to win, the Prosperity Party to win almost by a larger percentage. So we'll see what this lady might, the new election board chairman, might do, if she if she keep the promise or if she gonna break it. I'm sure she's gonna break it. There's no way we will have independent, free, and fair election under Abiy Ahmed. This one is positive news for Ethiopian Airlines. It says Ethiopian Airlines and the Citi signed a US dollar 450 million loan agreement for 5 new aircraft. This was announced on December 19, 2023. Addis Ababa, London, Ethiopian Airlines, Africa's largest carrier, announced a landmark of US dollar 450 million loan agreement that will finance 5 new Boeing aircraft. 3 Boeing 737-8 and 2 Boeing 777F cargo. The loan will be secured against the value of the 5 planes and has been arranged exclusively by Citi's corporate banking and export agency and the finance teams. It is guaranteed by the Export-Import Bank of the United States, EXIM. Ethiopian Airlines is a long-standing client of Citi's Treasury and Trade Solution (TTS) business, and their support and partnership have been instrumental to reaching the deal. Different parts of the bank, all working together, reflect Citi's unique ability to offer different banking services to clients with cross-border needs. The US dollar 450 million loan is Citi's largest aircraft financing in Ethiopia within the last decade and will help support both the bank's bid to increase its footprint in the region and the airline's ambitious growth plan. The 5 new aircraft will bolster Ethiopian Airlines fleet to 150 in total, and the delivery of all the aircraft will be completed in the US state of Washington in December. The new arrivals will help Ethiopian serve all its destinations by accelerating its expansion through the world, and will further bolster Ethiopian cargo and logistics services position as Africa's largest cargo network operator. Ethiopian Airlines has ambitions to grow its fleet to over 270 aircraft by 2035. Lauding the long-standing partnership of the two parties, Ethiopian Airlines Group CEO Mr. Mesfin Tasso said, in quotation, "We are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement with Citi to secure a US dollar 450 million loan. This financing will allow us to expand our fleet size by adding 5 new aircraft, 3 B737-8 MAX and 2 777 freighters. We are grateful for the mutually beneficial partnership we have established with Citi and look forward to further strengthening it. Fleet expansion being one of our strategic growth pillars. We will continue expanding and modernizing our fleet size so as to grow our business and reach new markets. So that is CEO of Ethiopian Airlines, Mr. Mesfin Tasso. Akin Dawudu, Citi Sub-Saharan African head, commented in the quotation again, Citi has been serving Ethiopian Airlines for many decades, and we are pleased to support its growth with financing for 5 new aircraft. A lot of work has gone into getting this deal off the ground, and it is thanks to Citi's strong relationships and connectivity both with the country and across our global network that we have been able to make it happen. Both our banking and the treasury and the trade solutions partners were instrumental in the delivery of this deal, and I would like to thank all teams for their collaboration. End of quotation. Citi has been working with Ethiopian Airlines for 45 years, supporting the airline's treasury operations and working capital management in 27 countries across 5 continents. Citi's unrivaled global network will continue to support Ethiopian Airlines expansion across Africa, Asia, the Americans, Europe, and beyond. Credit ethiopianairlines.com. So that's the positive news about Ethiopian Airlines. We need more positive news. We need to the end of the ongoing bloodshed in that country and have, such kind of positive news in employment, in other international relationships, farming, exports, import, and excess dollars. We need more positive news. No more about killing, torture, detention of mass. These are not positive news about Ethiopia. This is about GERD, Ethiopia Renaissance Grand Talk. I reported on it last time. So that meeting is ended without any breakthrough. Let me read what it says. This is reported by Associated Press. Ethiopia and Egypt say no agreement in latest talks over a contentious dam on the Nile. Ethiopia and Egypt said the latest round of talks over a huge, highly contentious hydroelectric dam Ethiopia has built on the Nile's main tributary again ended with no deal. The countries blamed each other after 3 days of discussion in Addis Ababa concluded on Tuesday. Egypt's Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation said the talks were unsuccessful due to Ethiopia's persistent refusal to accept any compromise. The Ethiopian Foreign Ministry accused Egypt of putting up roadblocks in the discussions that prevented any consensus. Sudan was also a part of the negotiation. So that is ended without any ceasefire, without any breakthrough and, concerning Ethiopian Renaissance Dam or GERD, and blaming each other for the failure of this negotiation. The other is the UN Security Council is just keep postponing the issue in the Middle East. Very catastrophic situation. So they couldn't vote. They say they are coming closer, for some kind of ceasefire and to avoid US veto on the issue. They are still in a deep negotiation but people are dying every minute, every second. And I have a video later to show you the discussion. So, the further they delay the ceasefire, they are providing more opportunities for Israelis to eradicate Gaza residents totally and to kill more children, women, babies, elderly, and destroy the city. That is maybe, I don't know. It may be part of the strategy. We don't know, but they are delaying, postponing the vote, and it's giving more time to complete Israelis to complete their operation against these defenseless Palestinians. This is trouble for former President Donald Trump. It says a divided Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot, setting up a likely showdown in the nation's highest court to decide whether the frontrunner or for the GOP nomination can remain in the race. The decision from a court whose justices were all appointed by Democratic governors marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. In quotation, it says, a majority of the court holds that Trump is disqualified from holding the office of president under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, end of quotation. The court wrote in its 4-3 decision, almost half and half, but one majority. Trump's attorneys had promised to appeal to the nation's highest court, which may eventually decide if Trump can be on the ballot in 2024. Trump is in a very, very, so many obstacles because of his action, so many lawsuits, and also this kind of decision by states. Minnesota refrained from giving that kind of decision. There was a lawsuit over there, but they just declined to decide like Colorado. Now Colorado decided to remove this former president from election, and he's still leading. It's very interesting situation to keep watching, and I will report to you. Despite all these lawsuits, financial, about Trump Towers, all these, plus the election, overturning his attempt to overturn the election, and insurrection on January 6th. So many lawsuits, and we'll see. Very interesting. Despite all this, he's still a leading candidate for Republican Party. This is from U.S. State Department briefing done yesterday about coalition, I think, created for against Houthis. Mr. Miller, the State Department person, the Houthis' reckless attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea threatened the free flow of commerce in the region's vital waterways, endangering innocent ship workers, and are a flagrant affront to the international law. Simply put, these attacks threaten global prosperity. Yesterday, the Department of Defense announced the establishment of Operation Prosperity Guardian, a multinational security initiative focused on advancing security in the Red Sea in the face of this threat. We welcome the participation of our allies and partners, the United Kingdom, Bahrain, Canada, France, Italy, the Netherlands, Norway, Seychelles, and Spain in confronting the threat. In addition, the United States High Representative Joseph Borrell, on behalf of the European Union, NATO also teamed up with this task force. Houthis are, expressing solidarity with Hamas and, attacking ships heading to this strait of, heading to Israel. So they hijacked one before, and now the United States is creating a coalition to stop. Instead of calling for ceasefire in Gaza, they are just doing something else. If they stop the war, Houthis will not attack. So we'll see. That is the new coalition created to stop the Houthis attack. This is the United States State Department sanctioning Iran. Iran, it says, let me read. Imposing sanctions on those supporting Iran's unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, production. The United States is imposing sanctions on a network of 10 entities and 4 individuals based in Iran, Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Indonesia, led by Iran-based Hosseini Hetefi Ardakani for facilitating Iran's procurement of sensitive goods, including US origin electronic component for one-way attack UAVs produced by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force Self-Sufficient Jihad Organization. The United States is committed to utilizing all available means to expose and disrupt Iran's growing UAV development and proliferation, which destabilize the Middle East and could prolong Russia's unprovoked and unjustified war against Ukraine. The United States will continue to work with allies and partners to hold individuals and entities accountable for supporting Iran's UAV programs. Today's designation follows previous U.S. designations of individuals and entities linked to the production of Iran's Shahid series UAV that the Russian military uses against Ukraine. Concurrent with OFC's action and following a multi-year investigation by Homeland Security Investigation (HSI), the Department of Justice announced the unsealing of indictment charging Hosseini Hatefi Ardakani and Gary Lam with crimes related to an illicit procurement network and scheme to unlawfully export U.S. origin, dual use, and sensitive technology to Iran. USI's global investigation identified a network of Iranian intermediary companies, front companies, and logistic businesses used to procure and facilitate the transfer of sensitive U.S. and foreign origin technology to Iran for its weapons program. on October 18, 2023, OFAC designated Gary Lam, whose primary name is Lin Jingge, for his support to an Iran-based procurement agent working on behalf of the IRGC-owned Sovereign Kish Company. The Department of the Treasury's actions were taken pursuant to Executive Order 13382, which targets proliferators of weapons of mass destruction and their means of delivery and their supporters. So for more information, please see the Department's Treasury press release. So that's the U.S. State Department sanctioning Iranian entities and individuals for helping Iran's UAV program. This is not the first time this is keep coming. This is, it's a war. It's undeclared war is happening between the United States and Iran for a long time. And Israel is pushing for more U.S. engagement, especially when it comes to the nuclear program. They are trying, they are pushing, they are threatening. We'll see. That's a very serious one. And let's see the videos I selected for you today and end today's presentation. Thank you again for coming back. So the first video is about Ecuador and United Arab Emirates UN representative giving us briefing on concerning Middle East. Then I have another video also. It's the continued Israeli bombardment in Gaza. And please don't watch this thing with kids, okay? Watch for with adults, but don't watch with children, because maybe some graphic, some trouble pictures. Let's continue.
Hey guys, good afternoon. So, the Security Council has agreed to continue negotiations today to allow for additional time for diplomacy, and the presidency will schedule the adoption for tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow
we don't know
morning.
that yet. We're going to put it in the morning. Thank you.
Yeah, people are dying. People are suffering. They just keep joking, man. It's a joke.
Comments reflect the consensus of the Security Council discussions in close consultation today. As the penholder, we are aware and are part of very high-level discussions that are happening between capitals to try and reach a text that will in fact be adopted. The overriding objective of this resolution was always to try and positively impact on the ground for the people who need it the most. We have been working overnight, long hours. You have been here covering it, and we appreciate your patience with the Council. But we believe today, giving a little bit of space for additional diplomacy, could yield positive results, and we are going to be optimists and try and do that. If by tomorrow the diplomacy... I'm sorry, but it's okay. That's all right. I hope your camera isn't too damaged. Maybe a new one for Christmas.
Anger.
If by tomorrow
for almost
those
3
results
months,
have not been
they
yielded,
just keep talking,
then we will assess as a council to proceed at pace to a vote on
as if everything is normal, as if nothing, nobody's dying, no distraction. Just you don't see any anger, you don't see any outrage.
I'm not going into too much detail because these are council deliberations, but I think everyone wants to see a resolution that has impact and that is implementable on the ground, and there are some discussions going on about how to make that possible.
Yeah.
Madam Ambassador, are the discussions going on between Hamas, Egypt, and Qatar impacting the decision to delay, and could that change the text of the resolution?
Those negotiations have been ongoing, stopping and starting since the start of this conflict following the 7th of October attack on Israel. Those conversations will continue, and they have not been raised in council deliberations. They are not part of our discussions on the text. That is responding to a humanitarian crisis that we have seen in Gaza, and with the backlog of humanitarian aid not able to reach Palestinian civilians on the ground in Gaza. That is the response that has been drafted by the council as a result in response to that. So, yeah.
I mean, compared to yesterday or the day before, are you more optimistic today?
I believe that capitals that have equities in this file are engaging at the highest level of diplomacy to reach a text that will have impact on the ground. Diplomacy takes time. It means evolving conversations, and people are giving it their attention at the highest levels of the capitals that have leverage on this. So I think from that sense, you have to be optimistic in diplomacy, otherwise we wouldn't all come into this building every day. In that sense, I am optimistic, but in another sense, if this fails, then we will continue to keep trying, because we have to keep trying.
People
there is too
dying,
much suffering on
people
ground,
suffering, cities are under destruction.
on this, and we haven't failed. We have a resolution,
no anger.
712. We need to build
no
on that
anger.
resolution, and I hope we will also adopt
the anger
a
you see on the
humanitarian
street,
resolution that responds to the crisis on ground.
One more question, please, about your position in your national capacity about the role that the UN should take in monitoring the implementation of the resolution. Do you think that this should be a UN mission, or the UN should take should monitor the implementation, or other parties?
I think that the UN has one of the most trusted brand names globally. It has credibility and it has experience on the field. So I think the UN is the organization that we have for implementation, and I think countries in the region have come to the UN asking for their support in the face of this crisis. So this is a resolution that was born out of a conversation and discussions at the ministerial meeting in Riyadh. It is an Arab OIC discussion about the immense burden that regional countries and partners are facing in terms of scaling up humanitarian aid into Gaza, and in particular Egypt, which is why Security Council members, many of us incoming and present, went to the Rafah border crossing with Gaza last week and saw firsthand thousands of trucks and the convoys leading into Gaza that are unable to go in, medical equipment that is unable to go in, ambulances that are unable to evacuate wounded people. We met with wounded children in the Al Arish hospital. The Egyptians are doing a phenomenal job on the border of Gaza to try and support the Palestinian people, but this is also fundamentally needed to be supported by the United Nations and by all regional and international partners. So I think we do trust the UN to have a role here. Thank you so much, and I appreciate your patience.
Regardless of what this diplomacy yields, will this still go to a vote?
This will go to a vote. The UAE's penholder will bring this resolution to a vote, and we hope for a resolution that has impact on the ground and is adopted.
Do you expect in 10 a.m.?
After everything, then you might have vote. That's the only thing I can say. They might have vote. America might support, because everything is done. It's over. Maybe a few buildings left of Gaza.
Oh my God! Did you hear that?
There we go. This is Israeli bombardment in Gaza.
Evacuation zone as we're getting into.
You see? This is the reality. You see how they talk on the stage?
God, did you hear that?
As if normal. There's nothing happening. People, babies crying, babies dying. People are suffering. Every day, day and the night. No anger.
See, this is exactly what we've been talking about. There is no safe place in Gaza at all. No safe place in Gaza. Hospital will not be able to take this number of injuries that will start coming to the hospital. This is
that's why you see
for
in
the
the
hospital
United
and the
Nations,
medical team.
From European Union or from those Arab representatives, they just coming with their suits and talking nice when people are suffering, dying every day, and the city is destroyed.
There is an increase in intensity and magnitude of those attacks. They are done at this level on purpose, just to inflict as much damage and as much killing, as much pain on people. It's like a wholesale slaughter of Palestinians.
Okay, maybe one more
This
video.
is Sarah from CNN News with an urgent alert for all Americans under 65 who have yet to claim the new $6,400 spending card.
Okay, this is COVID coming back in India, I think. We don't want COVID to come back. It's very dangerous variant, very dangerous virus. We don't want it. But India is reporting high numbers these days. You have headache, you have nausea, you have blah, blah. No.
Currently, there are around 2,300 active cases of COVID-19 in the country. The upsurge is due to COVID JN1 variant. There is no need to panic. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Goa, and Karnataka have cases. In last 2 weeks, 16 deaths were reported in people with serious comorbidities.
These numbers, COVID numbers are rising, not only in India, but it looks like Hong Kong and other areas. It's alarming anyway. Okay, so watch out your surrounding and keep watching the news for the updates about this COVID-19. It seems we are okay in the United States so far, but we keep watching. In China, India and other countries. This surge of deaths and infection is, alarming, and we have to keep watching. Let me conclude. So, United Nations, as you heard from Ambassador, the lady from United Arab Emirates, they are taking time. They are, almost, getting ready to have a draft resolution ending this war. Hopefully, but the more they delay, the more they give the Israelis the opportunity to continue their indiscriminate bombardment against Palestinians and their city, Gaza. Complete destruction. I never seen a war like this. I never seen. This is very dangerous war. And those Arab representatives are talking like a normal discussion, as if nobody is, killed, no destruction, normal. Even they are also punishing their own citizens not to come out and protest against this. They are aggressively preventing their citizens, punishing their citizens, not to be the voice for Palestinians. That's the reality. That's the reality. But they are coming on the stage and expressing, their concerns, and just as a normal. While people are dying every second, every minute in that area in Gaza, every building destroyed. As I reported last time, more than 300,000 residential buildings, schools, hospitals, ambulances, mosques, churches destroyed. This is not a war. This is a clear violation of international law. It's a genocide. But who can account Israel for this crime? Who? As long as the United States veto is there. Nobody. They will go for free. After this, maybe ceasefire tomorrow, they will be free. They will not be accounted for. And the Palestinians, just less human, almost close to 20,000 Palestinians killed. And the destruction is, the magnitude is high. And you don't see the feeling, the anger at the United Nations. They just come with the suits and the nice clothes and talk nicely as you making a normal diplomatic relationship or business dealing. This is life and death in Palestinians. It should be urgent. It should not be postponed. It should not be postponed. I expected after the first week of that operation ceasefire, but they let Israel to continue with this crime against defenseless Palestinians. That is the issue, and those Arab countries are just giving lip service to Palestinians. They are not real. They are fake, I'm telling you. That's all I'm going to say for today. Thank you for joining me. I will be back with another news update. Please be safe. Check your surrounding. Keep watching this COVID-19 news. So long, everyone.